Latifa al Daroubi has quickly become one of the most talked about figures in Syria, and her sudden emergence into the public eye has left many asking, who exactly is she? And what role will she play in shaping the country's future? Today we're going to explore her background, her family legacy, and the strategic importance of her appearances alongside her husband, President Ahmed al Sharaa. Let's begin by looking at Latifa's origins. Born in 1984 in the historic town of al-Qaryatain in Homs province, Latifa comes from one of Syria's most esteemed families. The al Daroubi family has deep roots in the region, tracing its lineage back to Ottoman times. Her great-grandfather Ahmed al Daroubi held influential positions in the Ottoman administration. Not only did he serve as a governor, but he was also the personal physician to Sultan Abdul Hamid II. After the Ottoman Empire fell, he briefly assumed the role of Syria's prime minister before his untimely assassination. This storied past sets the stage for Latifa's own life, revealing a legacy of public service and political involvement that spans generations. Latifa's family wasn't only known for their political clout, they were also recognized for their connections with the religious and scholarly circles. Many of her ancestors were noted Quranic scholars, which has helped to cement the family's reputation as both learned and devout. In a country where tradition and modernity often intersect, the al Daroubi name carries significant weight. Latifa herself embraced education wholeheartedly, eventually earning a master's degree in Arabic language and literature, a pursuit that reflects her commitment to both her cultural heritage and intellectual growth. Her personal journey took an unexpected turn when she married Ahmed al Sharaa, long before he would become a prominent political figure. Their relationship, shrouded in a degree of mystery, was kept largely away from the public eye. For years, while Ahmed was deeply involved in political and military struggles, their life together remained a private affair. There has long been speculation about whether their union was one born of love or a strategic alliance designed to strengthen ties between influential families. What is clear, however, is that this partnership has now positioned Latifa at the heart of Syria's new political narrative. At the end of 2024, Syria witnessed a dramatic transformation, with Bashar al-Assad fleeing the country for Russia. A long era of rule came to an abrupt end. The opposition quickly seized control, and Ahmed al Sharaa emerged as the new president, striving to legitimize his leadership both at home and on the international stage. In this rapidly changing environment, Latifa's role transformed from that of a quiet partner to a public figure whose every move carries political weight. Latifa's first major appearance on the public stage was carefully orchestrated. On January 29th, during the official swearing-in of President al Sharaa, the following day she was introduced as the First Lady, in a meeting with a delegation of Syrian women from the United States. Although she chose not to have her photograph taken with the group, perhaps a nod to her traditionally modest nature, her presence alone was enough to spark curiosity and discussion both locally and internationally. Her impact was amplified when President al Sharaa embarked on his first international trip. While visiting Saudi Arabia, the couple was seen performing Umrah in Mecca, a moment captured on video and quickly making rounds on social media. In these images, Latifa's appearance stood in stark contrast to the more modern and visible image of previous Syrian first ladies. Dressed in traditional modest clothing with a hijab, she epitomized a reserved and devout persona that resonated with many Syrians who value their conservative traditions. The following day, Latifa continued to build her public profile by accompanying her husband on a trip to Turkey. There, she met with Turkish First Lady Emine Erdogan. Their friendly conversation reportedly touched on key issues such as humanitarian aid, women's empowerment, and education. This meeting not only underscored her growing influence in diplomatic circles, but also signaled a shift in how Syria wanted to project its image internationally, a move that balanced tradition with a new, more people-centered approach. One of the most fascinating aspects of Latifa's newfound public persona is the contrast she represents compared to the previous era. As many of you know, Ahmed al-Assad, often dubbed the Desert Rose, was known for her modern and somewhat unconventional style. Asma broke with strict traditions by appearing in elegant Western-style suites, often with her hair uncovered, and she championed social reforms, humanitarian projects, and modern education initiatives. Her lifestyle and public demeanor were widely publicized, and she became an emblem of the secular, elite side of the former regime. In contrast, Latifa al Daroubi is forging an entirely different path. Her attire, her quiet demeanor, and the very nature of her appearances signal a return to traditional values. This is a deliberate shift. The new government, led by President al Sharaa, appears intent on appealing to a broader base of the population by emphasizing traditional, conservative values over the more elite, secular image of the past. In this context, Latifa's reserved and modest image plays a strategic role in reassuring the public and aligning the government with Syria's deep-rooted cultural and religious traditions. Beyond appearances, there's a clear strategic dimension to Latifa's role. By stepping into the limelight, she becomes a symbol of normalcy and continuity amidst a period of significant change. In many ways, her presence is meant to counterbalance the perception of a radical or unstable shift in power. Her public image reinforces the message that the new leadership is not about building a detached ruling elite, but about restoring a sense of community and shared values. This symbolism is critical, especially in a nation where trust in government has been eroded over years of conflict and mismanagement. Her family connections further underscore this strategic positioning. Latifa's sister is married to Mayor Mohammed Marwan, who was appointed governor of Damascus shortly after the new government took power. This relationship suggests that President al Sharaa is surrounding himself with individuals who are not only trusted, but who also share a common cultural and ideological background. It's a subtle reminder that in this new Syria, personal and familial ties remain as important as political alliances. As the public begins to recognize Latifa's role, many are curious about what the future holds for her. Will she take on responsibilities similar to those of Ahmed al-Assad, leading social and humanitarian projects, or will she maintain a more background role, supporting her husband's political agenda quietly from behind the scenes? While her appearances so far have been measured and symbolic, there is speculation that she might spearhead initiatives aimed at rebuilding the country's education system, healthcare services, and community programs. These efforts could help boost public trust in the new administration, positioning her as not just a figurehead, but a proactive advocate for change. However, it is also important to note that Latifa's role may remain deliberately restrained. In a society that values traditional roles and modesty, overt political activism by the First Lady might be seen as unnecessary or even controversial. By keeping her public appearances limited and focused on symbolic gestures, such as participating in religious pilgrimages or engaging in diplomatic meetings, with a respectful and reserved demeanor, she sends a clear message. The new Syria respects its traditions while looking forward to a stable and inclusive future. Latifa al Daroubi's rise to prominence is a carefully crafted element of Syria's broader political transformation. Her background, steeped in history and tradition, along with her deliberate and modest public presence, contrasts sharply with the modern and often provocative image of her predecessor. This difference is not accidental. It is a strategic decision aimed at consolidating support among a population that values traditional values and cultural continuity. Whether she evolves into a prominent public activist or remains a supportive partner in her husband's political journey will depend on the unfolding dynamics of Syria's transformation. As we continue to monitor the developments in Syria, one thing remains clear. Latifa al Daroubi has captured the public's imagination by embodying a blend of historical legacy and modern-day symbolism. Her appearances, her background, and her subtle yet powerful message are all part of a deliberate strategy to reshape the nation's image in a period of profound change. Thank you for watching this detailed exploration of Latifa al Daroubi and her emerging role in Syria's new political landscape. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe for more insightful content.